Hello, I'm Jackie Fox and welcome to Pokemon Go Fight Club. Today we're continuing our coverage of the Water Festival with Water Festival Part 2, Where to Find a Lapras. Yesterday I managed to get lucky and have someone notify me about a Lapras nearby, but today we're going to look through the data and see where you can catch one yourself, as well as visiting a local water biome. Enjoy. So the Water Festival is going to increase water spawns, and it's also going to increase rare water spawns in water biomes. So that's why I came here. You guys might remember this is the place that I came for the Valentine's Day event as well, just because lures. Unfortunately, there aren't any lures going right now that I saw, so that's a shame. I might light one up. I've had a bunch of them. I can't seem to get rid of them. I try to use them at these events where they last extra long, and people have already lured the places that I go, so I'm just stuck with them until now. I guess I'll use some of them now. So two of the rare spawns that have been jacked up for this that I'm really excited about are Dratini, which isn't a water type, but seems to be appearing much more frequently. It's the kind of the rarer spawn in water biomes and water locations. Anywhere that you see a Magikarp, you can potentially see a Dratini at some point, but they tend to be popping up right now in like all of them. And I'm gonna get some stats and talk to you guys a little bit more about what has been spawning the most in my area. We're gonna look at some data on that once I get home. But for right now, I want to talk about Lapras, because until yesterday, I had never caught one in the wild. I had hatched two, but I've never caught a single one, because they only spawn as a rare spawn like Dratini, except in ice biomes, and there aren't any where I live, and there most likely aren't ice biomes where any of you guys live, because most of the world is not covered in ice, and that is becoming more and more so every day. But I said it's going to get off politics, so let's stay off of that. So Lapras seems to be appearing in the rare spawn points in water biomes now. So where would you find those rare spawn points? Well, if you remember anywhere that you caught a Dratini, there's a possibility that a Lapras will appear there. They seem to be about as rare as Dratini were previously, maybe a little bit more rare, but if you know some good Dratini hunting spots, I encourage you to go out and see if there's a Lapras there, because the place that I went yesterday actually to catch my Lapras was a place that I had caught a Dratini previously. So there seems to be some truth to it. We'll see if I catch any out here today. Any Laprases. I'm sure I'll see some Dratinis. I heard just before the event started that there were 5 here at once, so hopefully I'll catch some of those. And once I get done here, we're going to do a little bit of a takeaway on the roof at a place I like to call the top of the world. That should be coming up next. And then we're going to look into some data. So it might be kind of a long one, but there should be a lot in it for you if you stick around. Stay tuned. Alright, next stop, top of the world. Here we go. So I apologize that I didn't get any better spawns out here. I was really hoping for some cool stuff. I will say that the diversity of spawns has increased. There are a bunch of cool water types, and I think that at the very least I got a whole lot of really good AR footage. I really enjoy seeing Pokemon in an environment that is kind of natural to them. Within the first few weeks of the game, I was out in the rain once catching Pokemon, and I caught a Magikarp in a puddle, just flopping around in a puddle, and I thought that was amazing that it just so happened to be at that puddle. I mean, there weren't a lot of puddles. It wasn't raining hard. I'm not crazy, but it was really cool to use the river running through this area to get that footage. I love this place, and if you're one of those people who plays from your car a lot, get out and enjoy a nice day at a scenic location and just walk around and catch some Pokemon. Anyways, we are headed back to my place for some data. I'm going to be looking at the spawns in 2 particular towns, looking at the last couple of days and seeing what has shown up since the festival started. So, see you there. Hi, I'm back. Got to apologize for the smoke alarm, you'll hear it eventually. Today we're going to be looking over the statistics of the last day's spawns in 2 different cities that are nearby. So this isn't going to be representative of everywhere, but it should give you a pretty good representation of both bigger city spawns and littler city spawns, since that's what we're looking at. So by far, with 11.5% of the spawns have been Magikarp. That is a total of 28,177 Magikarp over the last day, which is ridiculous. Second, or nearly tied for second, is Psyduck, Wooper, Marill, and Tentacool, each coming in at about 6% and about 16,000 spawns. And then we get to Pidgey. Pidgey is about 4% at about 10,000 spawns. And not a lot of really interesting stuff from there. Seal did actually come in just over 3% with 8,000, just over 8,000 spawns. Mantine seems pretty common as well. About 4,000 of those have spawned in this particular area. That actually outnumbers Pokemon like Chinchou, Goldeen, and Remoraid. And then if you keep scrolling, about 4,000 Totodiles. Sharp drop off after that. Well, actually after Staryu, Venonat, Eevee, yeah. Squirtle, about 2,000 of those over the last day have spawned in this city. Azumarill, 758 have spawned over the last day. Dratini, 203 Dratinis at about 1% of spawn. I'm sorry, 0.1% of spawns. So one out of every 1,000 Pokemon has been Dratini. Which doesn't sound like much, but it's actually, well, I mean, it's quite a few Dratini. But here's the statistic I was really looking for, and it's Lapras. 124 Lapras have spawned over the last day. To my knowledge, a Lapras has never spawned here prior to this. So that's pretty ridiculous. Also, pulling up a heat map, I can see some of the locations that they're spawning in. I can see kind of dense concentrations. It looks like they are clustered in a lot of the same spots that I've seen Dratini before, but also higher traffic areas that I've seen Dratini, not the really far out, super rural Dratini areas. There are a number of them spawning in rural areas, but from the heat map at least, it looks like they're spawning in more populated areas. So it's, I guess, something that they want more of us to catch. Let me also look at the heat map for Dratinis, try to see if there's a correlation. And for the most part, there is. The Dratini seems to be spawning a little bit further away from more populated areas. They do have some hotspots in populated areas though. There's a golf course, there's also a shopping center right down the road. there is one particular neighborhood near my house that tends to spawn a lot of them, but that was also a Lapras area, and it seems to line up pretty well. So if you know a more populated area where Lapras are spawning, at least in my city, that seems to be the case. Now, I told you we were going to look at 2 cities, so let's do that. Next city, same top 5. Magikarp, with the overwhelming number of spawns, about half that for Psyduck, Meryl, Wooper, Tentacool. Let's see how many Dratinis have spawned. Now this is the bigger of the 2 cities. So if you live in a bigger city, this is probably going to be a little bit more representative of you. 256. It's about half of a tenth of a percent. So 1 out of every 2,000. And like I said, Dratini's like more rural areas, but Lapras seems to like less rural areas. So let's see what we've got here. 210. So it's about the same. Even though there's a lot less Dratini in bigger cities, there seem to be a similar number of Laprases. And I think that that's because Laprases are attracted to the rare spawn areas in water biomes that are more populated. Because again, they want this to be a cool event for people. They want people to get a chance to get out there and catch a Lapras and be excited about that. So they're putting them in the places that people are most likely to go. That is what this data looks like. And actually, fun fact that I just noticed looking back at my screen, there have been 14 more Lapras in this particular city over the last day than Pikachu. Lapras is now more common than Pikachu. I know it was kind of hard to find Pikachu before, but that's a big difference for sure. There's another couple things to talk about regarding the new updates. I have seen an update from Germany that seems to confirm that shiny Pokemon have been implemented into the game. Looking at the APK file, looking at what has been implemented, there are now new tabs for gender differences in the Pokédex. But if you look into the data, there's also tabs for shiny forms as well. They don't appear until you have caught a shiny form, apparently. That's why you can't go in there and see what a shiny Gyarados looks like. But once you catch it, it will add that to it. And it's kind of the same for the gendered forms. If you haven't caught one since genders were formally introduced to the game, even if you already have one that has a particular gender, it may not show up in your Pokédex until you catch another one of that gender, if that makes sense. Also, there seems to be some correlation between the Magikarp hat only being available for people who have the silver Big Magikarp medal. And it is a free item. It totally looks like some kind of brain slug. I like Magikarp, they're awesome. I'm saying this in my normal human voice because it is not taking over my brain. No. That's kind of how I imagine my avatar right now. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned a couple of things about how to hunt for Laprases during this event. I hope that that's been helpful for you. If you still don't know where to catch Dratinis in your neighborhood, I'm sorry. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this. If you like getting information like this, if you like getting the things that other people aren't necessarily talking about, the kind of in-depth research that I do on my Fight Club channel, like and subscribe. I'll be putting out more videos every week. I also am going to start getting into Pokemon Duel videos. Those are not going to be replacing Pokemon Go videos. They are going to be in addition to Pokemon Go videos. So there's going to be more to love on the channel. And also I have a Patreon page that I would appreciate it if you stop by. Because if every one of you guys were to donate, let's say $1 to my Patreon page, I could afford to maybe at least 3 more songs every month. I could have 3 new songs every month if every one of my current YouTube subscribers gave me $1. And it also helps to support a local artist who is awesome, who's been doing this for years. Remember,
The whole purpose of the Fight Club channel is to help you battle with the best of them. And today, we're helping you catch them all, including Lapras, you tricky bastard. Until next time, keep training, trainers.